Chatterbox is
Okay.
active, so you guys are on the radio.
Blop, blop, blop.
Chatterbox
Hello.
is up. You are on the radio. Hello and welcome all to.
To our weekly interview, of course. This is Distant Radio 3305, and tonight we've got Chankk doing the radio work, yay, and Nagi doing the video work, yay. I've got my hands free and can just relax. Bye bye. No. Tonight we are interviewing Greytest, the greatest of greatests. Yeah.
Who dat?
Say hello.
Hello, new everyone.
Yeah, this is an impromptu interview. It was rather short notice. Of course, we don't have many questions except the ones we have in our question catalog.
Bring it on!
I will
Yeah.
improvise.
Yes, Nagi will improvise. He's the one who was asking the questions, and of course, Chankk is. I'm just always telling you guys how things are broken.
And
You
that
need
we are
that
not
guy.
loud enough and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start. Introducing you, Greytest. Just quickly tell us who exactly are you and what are you doing in Elite?
Pleasure, thanks for having me. I'm a nobody, really. I have no clue what I'm doing here. I guess I saw you guys on the corner of the street and just decided to hop on the show. I don't know. No, I'm a rock rat. I've started playing Elite way back in 2000. I think it was already 15. I started 14 or 15, just after it went live. Basically, I just missed out on the beta goodies. But way back, I played with some old friends, and we kind of did some rare goods trading. And after a while, I decided, like the noob I was, to fly my, I think Type 7 is what it was, without a rebuy. Ooh, that was not a good decision, because promptly I got interdicted because I was flying in open as well, of course. And
You broke the one rule.
at least, yeah, I mean, I was fresh, I didn't know better. But at least I found like a proper pirate. He was actually like typing, drop your cargo and you'll be fine. But smart me, in my youngin' days, thought, ha, I'm in a Type 7, I can boost away. Sure, I mean, the guy was in a clipper. Smartest decision of my life. And yeah, he just shot out my engines, popped my cargo, and left me there drifting. And I died because way back in the day, you couldn't reboot repair, you couldn't refresh your oxygen, and I just suffocated sitting there and not being able to do nothing about it. Yeah, that was kind of brutal. And that actually,
man,
That wasn't
That
that
actually
the
chipping
old
off.
days
for
of
a while.
You
yeah,
couldn't
I was gonna say
repair?
the old days of the old days of Elite of engine death literally just left you stranded
Yep.
and just waiting to die.
you could do nothing about it.
You could do
They
nothing.
actually fixed that quite late. I think it was like another year or so before you were able to reboot repair.
What about
So, yeah.
Oh yeah,
self-destruct?
there was reboot repair,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I mean,
I mean-
even before that, you couldn't use materials to restock your
Nothing.
life support. So there
Yeah,
was nothing
because
you could
exactly,
do.
he didn't only kill my engines, but my cockpit canopy as well. So I literally just sat there for 5 minutes and then suffocated.
You couldn't even self-destruct? Or...
Well, yes, you could, but I figured I'd enjoy the ride for as long as it lasts. I don't know. I thought maybe
Yeah,
somebody will randomly drop in and save me, but
Yeah, also
there were-
experience what it's
man,
like.
That's some
Yeah.
nostalgia for some of the
I
old
mean-
players here. Jeez.
I mean, it is, and I thought like you brought this upon yourself. You'll have to suffer through it now. But yeah, that was a bit depressing because I think my only other ship I had way back then was a Cobra Mark III, which was a good ship. Don't get me wrong, but losing that Type 7 with a full cargo load of gold was just it put me off the game for quite a while until I returned. I think almost a year later. When the whole Distant Worlds thing was kicking off, I actually got wind of it quite late, I think through one of Obsidian Ant's videos. And I caught up with the fleet, I don't know, the waypoint 7 or so it was. And yeah, that's when all that I am now basically took its way. I met the Rock Rats on Distant Worlds 1, I had awesome fun with them, just scouting for materials. Made some good friends there, and then after I returned, I had some shenanigans in the bubble. I found as a home system for the Rock Rats. I joined the broadcast also via Rock Ratting because I took part in one of the mountain climbing races they did way back then, and I won that one.
Nice.
And somehow, I don't even know anymore exactly how, but somehow that led to me becoming a co-host of the broadcast. So yeah, that's what I am now, co-host of the broadcast, Rock Rat, fundamentalist, shenanigator, all those things.
And also, for those who don't know, Distant Worlds 1 had, I think, 24 waypoints. So it wasn't as late as Waypoint 7 would have been on Distant Worlds 2.
No, it was about halfway between Sagittarius A-star and the bubble, somewhere in there.
So still reasonable, I'd say.
Yeah, it wasn't a complete race to catch up with the fleet. It was okay.
So, okay, and then how exactly did you get into the Rock Rats then? And can you explain what the Rock Rats have been doing back then? Because that's very different.
Can we start with what are the Rock Rats? Because we know who the Fuel Rats are. We know who the Hull Seals are. The Rock Rats is kind of a quiet background organization that nobody really knows about until you need them.
It's exactly what they are. It started without me. I wasn't one of the founding members. At the beginning of Distant Worlds, they were just a bunch of guys who decided to scout ahead of the waypoints and around the waypoints for systems that had ideally all of the materials you needed to get the Jumponium boosts. Because there was a certain set of materials on every planet way back then, and you couldn't get the composition just by scanning the planet. You actually had to go down on the surface, shoot rocks, and then analyze what you got out of them until you had the full list of what's available on that planet. And we did that for every single planet that we decided to scout out and prospect, and just collected the data in big spreadsheets, and then, analyzed for the best systems to the fleet to go to and gather Jumponium materials so they could jump further, because way back then our jump distances were also significantly smaller because we didn't have engineering, we didn't have we had the Anaconda. The Anaconda was the best ship back then, but you could get it up to like 42-ish light years the most.
The Anaconda at 42 light year, 45 light years or something like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's enough for the whole Distant Worlds 1 trip. But, many players didn't have that kind of a jump range. They had some outfitting on their ships, which wasn't streamlined for exploration. So there were many people back then with a jump range under 30 light years. And they actually needed Jumponium to even make it to Beagle Point. So that's why we scouted. So just people had some opportunities to gather materials and, stay with the fleet. So that's... Doing that, more and more people joined in. I met them at one of the waypoints. I just, at some point, found out that there was like meetups on the ground at the waypoints. I actually went back and got an SRV, and then came out again, because I didn't have one with me the first time.
Oof.
And then started rock ratting with them. It was tremendous fun, I can tell you that much. And we got really good at it. Like, we prospected whole systems with like dozens of planets in like half an hour, because we split up into teams, and it was awesome. It was great fun.
So you got your designations like the green systems, and
exactly, yeah.
For ones who look them up on EDSM, they will notice there is one system that's marked with a gold star.
Exactly, that's the one golden system we found back then, meaning it has all the materials. Every single material that's available, it has all of them.
It has all the surface materials, because I can guarantee
of course.
On Distant Worlds 2, obviously, Nagi and myself both found systems that have all the surface materials, but they only have, because of the new materials. There's Nagi, please help me out with it. There's lead that's only in metal rings.
There's boron.
There's boron that's only in icy rings, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they weren't in the game back then.
Okay.
There's a third one. There's a third one, but even the third one, I don't even know if it actually exists in the game anymore. Like, they put it in, and then they immediately removed it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, all I can tell you is that back then we didn't have any of that. Like, all the materials that were in the game you could get on the surface of planets. So that's what we had.
Okay, so
yeah.
that gold star basically is there for historical reasons, because nowadays you
Pretty much.
find that
Yeah.
much more often.
Yeah, and also that's the one big thing that I don't want to say it killed the rock rats, but it certainly kept them from growing any bigger anymore. Because nowadays, of course, you can just simply scan a planet. Now with probes, but in between we had just a surface scan, and you got all the materials listed up there that you could find on that planet. So that kind of made our on-surface prospecting work obsolete, which was sad. I was really fighting against that. But I also understood it from gameplay sort of aspect, because many players just don't want to go to the effort of scouting stuff out themselves when they need materials. We try to provide that service and like collate systems with the best material compositions and the best percentages, but it didn't really catch on. And I guess in the end, FDev decided to do something about it themselves, and that made the original work that we did obsolete, which was unfortunate. But by that, we at that point we already had our home system. We delved into the BGS a little bit. We delved into just shenanigans, just climbing mountains. I myself climbed Mount Everest several times by now, and just having fun together. Like, we stayed small. We know each other well. We played together, other games as well, and it was good. It was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about
say, like,
when geysers and fumaroles and stuff like that were introduced? Did you start hunting those, or?
No, we didn't, because that was not really the same. Because you had to find them, and there were some methods of increasing your chances of finding them, like in canyons and certain geological features. But that wasn't really what we enjoyed.
This is exactly what I was getting to. Is as somebody who, as a scout for dead end circumnavigation, a lot of the stuff that I did was, first of all, like flying around and first of all finding an interesting looking system, and then second of all, going on planets that had volcanism and manually, just scouting their surfaces for days.
Yeah.
Looking for geyser sites or fumarole
and the
sites.
SRV is the worst possible way to do that, because you're just not fast, and not all planets are small-ish. I mean, the smallest ones are still several hundred kilometers in circumference.
Oh, yeah.
So it would take you hours to
it's,
drive around them. So it's not efficient to scout them by SRV. What you would do is you would drop into a very shallow glide and then just look down and try to spot them.
Yeah. Yes, there was the glide dive spotting, where basically you just boost straight up, then glide straight back down at a very shallow angle with your radar out, and then just literally looking at the ground where you thought there might be something to get a visual confirmation. And
I never did that.
It's like that
now
was
during.
that's a skill. That seems like a skill that's been. It's some people do have it still, but it's like it's unnecessary because of the new addition.
Yeah, it's obsolete as well now. Many things.
Yeah, youngsters these days don't know what had to be done back then.
They don't know the hard times we had back then.
They can't.
Hey, we walked 2 miles uphill in the snow, both ways,
naked.
Well, you do you. That's up to you, man.
Not judging here.
No, yeah, that's like many of these emergent sort of gameplays, if you want to call it that, that players came up with or just had to come up with to achieve certain things, got made obsolete because I guess FDev thought and got overruled by the new.
You were cutting out.
Yeah, you just were cutting out. Sorry.
No, great.
Was just you though.
No, but I definitely understand where you're coming from as a fellow explorer of very, very specific and very particular and minute details. I totally understand your position in that case.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a game. It's evolving. You adapt, and again, I'm still having a lot of fun as a rock rat. Again, I've climbed many mountains. I did most recently several circumnavigations with Primetime Casual. You can still have fun in the game, even in the SRV, even though there's not like real gameplay purpose to it anymore. But I think it's still one of the most fun things to do, to just drive around,
Yeah.
climb mountains, jump.
I
I really
definitely
enjoy that.
agree.
Yeah, that's
SRV
new
is such a
emergent
great,
content.
great thing.
You know, yeah, Nagi and I have gone separate ways. Nagi tries to go as fast as he can along the surface. I try to go as fast as I can away from the surface. And launch
I
myself
tried
into
that
orbit.
on
often
several
as I
different
can.
bodies, but I still haven't found the ideal one to do that yet. So. I did
That
try
brings me
to
to-
launch an SRV speedball event during this Worlds, and one guy actually managed to pull it off on the body I picked, and went what was it, 1,300 something meters per second?
No, it was like 1,600 because I remember I was sitting there like,
Yeah.
because I got to 650 and I was like, this guy got 1,000 meters a second faster than I did.
Yeah, it just got to 400 something, and then I crashed into a canyon wall, and then I ran out of premium repairs, so I had to stop.
I did all kind. Like, that brings me to one thing that I did as well, as you said, getting away from the planet as fast as you can. I actually jumped to another planet in my SRV. That was fun. I did that with Commander Plater. He
That's
basically
my next
lifted.
goal. Oh man.
He lifted me on the belly of his. I think it was a Orca, and I just drove on there, and then he took me towards the other planet that went like a very close binary pair of planets. And at some point, at like 34-ish kilometers up, I think, on that planet, you completely lose gravity and control over the SOE. You just float in a
Yeah.
straight line. You
that
can't do
depends.
anything unless
That
somebody else
depends.
boops you.
That depends
Yeah,
on the dropout altitude.
SRVs basically become ballistic projectiles at, is it 24 or 26 kilometers?
Yeah, no,
Something
it
around
depends. It depends on the dropout altitude. They
but
actually
it
raised that
yeah, it
limit for
depends
Mount
on
Everest,
certain-
for example.
Yep.
Yeah, because of Neverest, it's like the altitude. It's you can get what the top of Neverest is 50, 60 kilometers above the actual surface.
Not
It's
quite that high,
so-
but it's something around that, yeah.
it's so ridiculously broken that technically you would be able to drive into space.
Which you used to be able to do.
You
That's
used to be
exactly
able to. Yes, you used to be able to.
But not anymore.
I think Ghost Giraffe actually did that before they sort of quote unquote fixed Mount Everest. They actually did
yeah,
drive
they
into
did that.
space.
Yeah, I remember
There's
that.
a video out there of that. Yeah,
However,
that's
when
the
you
reason
went
for the
there with
fix.
Josh, it was already fixed, right? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, that's all kinds of fun you can have in this game, and that's why I still love it.
What's still on my
wanna
to-do
back
list
up a
is
little bit.
that jumping to another planet, getting into rings,
yeah.
and getting into a station. I've actually seen a video of someone
Yeah.
pulled that off already, and I was like, no,
Oh,
I
no.
wanted to be
Okay,
the first.
so
That was a very
the-
short time after I jumped to the other planet, and then somebody
That was-
basically completely topped that with jumping into a station.
that was a long time ago, and
Yeah.
the actual physical ballistics on SRVs has changed, so that they used to be able to basically, you would bump them and they would kind of drift, and then you could catch up to them and move them. Now,
Yep.
when an SRV is in space, it's basically the same as a cargo canister. It's just dead weight that just floats there.
Yep.
And once you push it, it keeps on going. They did fix it because accurate Newtonian physics now apply. So when you push it, it just keeps on going until another force is acted upon it.
It's
It
just a
doesn't
shame
stop.
that you can't keep using your thrusters up there to navigate around. That would be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that would be so much fun. Like having driven an SRV into orbit, like what is it, Nagi? 4 times now? How many times have I
Yeah.
done this? Like having driven an SRV into orbit, either by launching on geysers or by speedballing it up into orbit. I'm like, if I could actually use my boosters while I was in space in an SRV, I would try to actually fly from planet to planet if I could. Like, I would love to do that, just purely by SRV, not with any assistance or boost from anybody else. That would be so much
Yeah,
fun.
like this, you kind of have to get into an optimal or a semi-optimal orbital path and just hope you hit the planet.
Yeah, because you have to like jump off of the first planet, and then the path that you're on, you have to hope that the binary planet basically crashes into you as you're flying towards it.
Yep. And ideally, you don't want to head like straight for the ground because you're never gonna survive that.
No.
But you wanna,
Well,
you
actually,
wanna kind
actually,
of
no.
like.
Oh, you haven't
kind
done
of
it recently.
Well,
You
I
haven't done
know
it
that you
recently.
can survive these kind of falls. I actually did survive
so
my
you
landing on
don't
the other
fall.
planet as
You
well.
don't fall all the way
You
to
don't
the
fall
ground.
anymore. They changed this when they did the reskin about a year and a half ago, I think it is now.
Really?
Yeah, when they reskinned the whole galaxy and they reskinned the surfaces.
Yeah.
When an SRV re-enters when an SRV re-enters a planet's like gravitational field or
Sphere of
whatever,
influence.
when it re-enters the actual like SRV territory, it basically respawns the SRV about 2 meters above the ground as if it was dropped from a ship.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't like it. I would rather fall at 5,000 meters a second towards the ground and just pray that I survive and not expect to.
Why did they
Than
change
what
that?
they
That's
did.
so weird. Like, that's completely against everything they usually do, like keeping the immersion up.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah, nobody understands it, and there isn't even a reason for it. It's just a thing. Like it's literally just like a minor patch note that's just written in there.
It's
They're
just
like
what FDev does.
SRVs re-entering planetary. They called it something weird too. It was like drive
Sphere of
sphere
influence
or
or
something. Well, it wasn't even sphere of influence. It was like drivosphere. It's like where you would drive your SRV normally. The
You
SRVs
shall not have fun!
re-entering the quote drivosphere will be respawned at the surface as if they were deployed from a ship, and it's like
Because that's
tiny-
exactly
a tiny
what the
little
players want.
tiny little note, and it's so weird too because it's like you can be with people in a wing and they're saving you. They're pushing like you flew up into orbit, and they're pushing you back towards the planet, and you're 18 kilometers over the surface, and then suddenly you. Boop, 18 kilometers, and now you're on the surface, and your people following you are 18 kilometers above you in space. It's weird. It's very weird,
Yeah.
and very immersion breaking, definitely. Because I mean,
well.
you used to be able to make good videos with that kind of material. You know, you could be like people pushing you the whole way down, and then they're like, "Oh, we pushed him down way too fast. Now he's going 1,000 meters per second towards the surface." Shit.
It was
Brace
all
for
a plan.
impact.
So yeah, getting back on track, pulling up the thing with the things on the thing.
Well,
The
Oh,
mysterious
he's gonna go to
thing.
the serious questions now.
oh, Michael's getting back to the serious topic, so let's try to derail
Oh,
him
boy.
real quickly. You say that you're nobody. You say
Say
that you're
again?
nobody, and you say that you're like nobody important, and it's like you can't do that because I have that line copyrighted. It's got a little circle C.
Well, let me
Chankk.
rephrase then. If
No,
I'm not-
actually, no.
I don't want to get
my-
sued here.
My copywritten line is "I'm just a dude." So but it's close enough that I think I might have legal action.
Wasn't your line over like some sort of redneck, like some backwards country redneck?
No.
What's
No,
country?
Redneck on the Rim is just my title. I'm just a dude is the phrase that I used to refer. But you're one of the broadcast. I mean, we've basically hit everybody now on here, which is amazing.
Except Shibuka.
Yeah, except Shibuka. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we miss him dearly as well. But he's doing great in his iRacing career. So good on him. Yeah,
But
I mean,
I wanted
I'm
to
not
ask you a question.
nobody, but
As somebody like me who's like, I'm not anybody special. I'm just here because I put effort into arriving here. Can you let people know that it's just like these amazing things can happen if you just put effort into enjoying things in the game and putting yourself out there in your enjoyment and sharing it with other people? Because I think you guys at the broadcast do exactly what I want to do, which is, I see amazing things, I experience amazing things, and I want other people to experience it, so I try to share it with them, and that gets me noticed and recognized. And it's like, I didn't do anything special, I just want other people to experience this awesome shit that I experienced.
Loot thought just crossed my mind when you said that gets me, and then made a little pause. I was just finishing with another ending. I just.
well,
Yeah, let's not
Can we
take-
get
I
back
would
to
argue
Greytest? What's your
it's-
motivation? Like, what motivates
I would
you
argue
to
it's not
do it?
even about like being seen or being recognized. I would do just the same thing if we had no viewers. It's just a nice side effect to have somebody in chat to like comments on stuff that you're doing, make suggestions, ask questions that you can answer. Like the interaction is a nice bonus. But really, it's just about
Exactly.
enjoying stuff together with friends, and if somebody gets some fun out of it, just the better and the merrier. And
We are
It's
on the
really not
same
about the
page,
views.
man. Totally. That's the whole point. Is just you enjoy yourself, but because you have so much fun with it, other people see that. And
yeah, that's
I don't
great.
know.
I guess it's
I
good
don't know if
fortune,
it-
or it's just lucky that we seem to be good at like conveying that enjoyment and getting some other people to enjoy watching us. That's a great thing. But that's nothing like that I've actively worked towards. I've never really considered myself an entertainer or anything. It was just great doing this show. I mean, back then it was way more about Elite. That's where we grew our viewership. That's what most people still enjoy most. I mean, our views greatly disparage between doing Elite and doing anything else. But again, that's just something we observe. That's nothing that's gonna like dictate what we do. We do other games regularly because there's some awesome other games out there.
I will never forget that moment in what's the other space? Is it Helion? The other space?
Hellion,
Yeah, I've wanted to play that.
Where Ascorbius launched. It wasn't you, was it? He launched somebody out of the airlock at like
He was
at
launched
100
by
meters a
Josh.
second. Oh, was
Yeah,
that
Josh-
Josh?
Somebody
just pulled
may or may
the
not
trigger
have
for
accidentally
override.
launched the Scorpions out of the airlock. Yeah, that might have happened totally accidentally.
I will still like. I can close my eyes and see that moment where like Ascorbius is like, he's like, okay, you're in here, right? You're in the airlock, and he literally just turns his character around, grabs a handle, and then pushes a button. Boom! Another body just flies out the airlock, really, really freaking fast.
That was great, yeah.
With a scream.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
part that Elite is missing.
Yeah.
One of
yeah,
the
well, we
parts.
would need space legs for that.
Yeah. I mean, have you guys heard about the most recent news about the vehicle AI programmer that they're looking for?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting point, because that kind of indicates that they might actually be doing some more advanced and ambitious stuff on planets. It's not going to be a revamp in terms of surface structure and features,
Yeah,
but there might be significantly more new gameplay involved there, especially when you think about them and the leak that we had
The Space
saying that
Legs
there's
leak?
going to be bases. They didn't specify if ground or space bases, but if we're going to have vehicle AI,
Yeah, well,
then
we already
it-
have space bases.
exactly, and that,
Oh, yeah,
that
well,
might
the people were
suggest
really
that we
excited,
will get
yeah.
more ground bases in the future, maybe even player-created ground bases that
Oh,
will
that
have
was that
some
was
sort
the
of-
thing. Yes.
some
I
sort
would
of
just-
automated AI traffic between them.
I would just
Yeah,
love
but I
more
really
ground content in general.
The
Really.
thing is, I suppose if you consider what ship AI or AI pilots currently do, if they want to adapt that for SRVs, for example, I think that just means you can dismiss and recall, for example, your SRV while you leave the car on foot, because space lags is something that has been mentioned over the past few weeks very often. So I think it's probably going more into that direction, but of course the automated traffic thing needs between bases and stuff like that could be a part of it too.
Even a small step could be, being able to be like, okay, I have a crew in my ship. Me and my friend can both use my 2 SRVs.
Absolutely.
And the
That's
ship
one
can
one
take
big
off
part.
and follow us.
But see, I'm still a little bit torn on the whole topic, on the leaks, and on the suggestions that we might have for updates, because I'm absolutely for having more stuff on ground on the planets. I mean, I'm a rock rat after all, so yeah, I would love to have new different SRVs with certain purposes. That would be the best thing ever. On the other hand, I'm still not fully convinced that space lags is something that fits well into Elite. I mean, the community has been screaming for it for years now. I still don't really get why, because in Elite's current state, I just don't see any significant gameplay happening that'll tie that into the rest of the game in a sensible manner.
If you consider the Imperials, they just want to bask. So
So you can walk around the palaces and stuff.
Yeah, wouldn't need an FPS component, but something like walking around in first-person perspective on a planet, that would be awesome.
Yeah, but
Just
like
bask in the
they
glory.
can't do a half-finished product there. If they're gonna implement space lags, they have to do it proper to not disappoint the community again, maybe.
They can't pull a Star Citizen.
And that's just such a huge leap, because I mean that's their own engine, so I trust them knowing what they would have to do. But I'm sure that's a huge technical challenge to make that happen.
Yep.
And I mean
think so,
that's just another suggestion why they delayed the update for 2020. I mean, it feels like they're building a whole new game at this point. It might as well be Elite 2. And if they're gonna tie this into the current Elite, I just really, really hope that they can make it work properly. So it's gonna fit in nicely. It's gonna make sense with the rest of the game, and people are actually gonna enjoy it. 'Cause it might be great. I mean, there's some huge potential in having space lags, but the rest of the game cannot lose out because they felt like they had to squeeze it in there just because the community was screaming for it.
Yeah, I understand.
And with that, I also hope they will have new content for exploration too, because you gotta have a benefit from that when out there.
I'm gonna be honest. The unknown, what are they called? I forget the name because it's so weird. The notable stellar phenomena. To me, they were a huge letdown, because there's just no way of like focusing search to find them. You just stumble upon them randomly, and I myself, on the whole of Distant Worlds 2 and before, haven't stumbled upon a single one. So, well, great, there's new stuff in the game that I have a super small chance even stumbling upon on a way, like searching for it, so what? There's no point to that for me. And I just really hope that if they're gonna add more content, which yes, please do, but they also need to add new mechanics to like tie that content in.
Yeah, true. But yeah, are they looking for writers too?
I think I saw something about a designer most recently, but that was like a concept artist what they were looking for. So I guess they're making new assets as well. But there was nothing more specific in that job description, like what kind of concept art they want.
Yes, some new lore writers, story writers would be great.
Yeah,
so
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. And I mean the most recent event-ish that we had, the Interstellar Initiative.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't take part. I'm still out at Beagle Point right now. But even still, like what I heard from other people, it's just a fancy community goal with some flair around it and a decal that you get in the end, which isn't anything new either, because we had decals from community goals in the past. So yeah, it just feels like a reskin of community goals to make them last until the 2020 update, which is not gonna work for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and now there's months in between them.
And
Yeah.
also, it kind of, well, no, forget it. Never mind.
Yeah. But when talking about writers, you were actually impersonating one of the characters that Drew Rager wrote during the Premonition event.
Oh yes, wow, that's a throwback. Yeah, I was playing a friend of Salome. Her name was, that's embarrassing now. I still have the ship in one of my hangars. The star. Wow, it's just too long ago. I don't actually recall right now.
I think she
Hate me
was
for
called
it.
Sue.
Yeah, something Sue. I don't recall the rest of the name though.
Sorry, I have to go AFK for a moment. Be back in a bit.
Yeah,
Have
but
fun
I,
without me.
I was playing that role. That was very nice because I didn't really know what was going down as a whole. I just got a few instructions and like I set up the character, like the holomy. I set up a ship with a certain outfit that I got, some certain look rather, that I got some directives for. And then I was taking part. I got my own escort wing to like try to take some attention away from Salome, try to divert some attention, and try to get to the target system, the Tionisla graveyard, which it turned out to be. And I actually made it there. Before Salome, and when we were sitting there waiting what's going to happen, because everything was like happening in real time, live, right there. Nobody knew what was going on. We're trying to exchange information, and at some point the message came in that Salome didn't make it. But of course, the mission as a whole was still fulfilled because I was carrying one of the important parts that had to make it to the goal.
Did you actually have something in your cargo hold, or was it just complete roleplay?
No, I didn't have anything in my cargo hold. It was just like a metaphorical message, so to say, a piece of information that I had to personally bring to the target.
Okay. How exactly? I mean, and you got a target. Was it a station, or was it just go into that system?
It was a system at first, which then also changed halfway through because it was basically a ruse to like lead any pursuers astray. So we diverted shortly before we arrived there, like the last 10 jumps or so, we diverted to the actual target system, which was the Tionisla graveyard in Tionisla. And then, yeah, we arrived there. The last, like the super cruise flight to the actual graveyard in that system was super tense. I mean, the graveyard itself isn't in the game. I think all that we had there was a beacon. Because the graveyard itself with like the ship graves that are supposed to be there isn't modeled in game, unfortunately. But you can read all about that in Drew's books and some of the other Elite lore books. But yeah, we arrived there and managed to deliver the message. That was great.
Okay. What happened afterwards? Because was it your main account, or was it an alt account, or how did that work?
I only have one account still to this date. I did never get a second account because I don't know. I don't see the point in it.
So it just got
Hero.
renamed.
No, Nagi, stop talking. Moment of silence. Everyone just applaud. Applaud
Why?
this man. Absolute hero. Absolute hero.
I mean, I would have the option to reset my account if I really wanted to start anew. And there's totally a charm to starting fresh. I totally get that. But I've already spent a tremendous amount of money that I don't really want to talk about.
I was just wondering because when you were impersonating the character, you got your account renamed, right?
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, I changed my holomy. And we actually reached out to FDev to properly rename my account, which had the interesting side effect that some of my discoveries got changed over, of course, to that new account name as well. But I didn't do too much while I was Su Sing, I think it was. Yeah. So I was Su Sing for a while, I think like a month or so it was, and then they reset me back to Greytest.
All right.
No, you have to understand the reason I'm applauding is because both Nagi and Mykl here have been pushing me. They're like, Chankk, go buy your second account. Just do it. I've been running for one account for 5 years now. Shit, I can't even remember.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's pro and cons to it. I would love to have a ship in the bubble right now to take part in the stuff that's happening, but then again, that's not like my main account. Even if I get a decal on it, let's have it on my main account. So I'm not bothering. I'm wherever my account is, whatever it's currently doing, whatever it manages to take part in, that's what I'm gonna experience. Because I don't, to be honest, I don't really agree with like having to spend extra money just to get like just to play the game that you're already playing in a slightly different way or start anew. It was a Kickstarter promise that they kind of brushed over, that you would have multiple characters with one account. It's not happening. They stuck to this version. If it's for the money or some other technical reason, I do not know.
It's possible on consoles.
It's how it is. I know it's possible on console. That's even more frustrating. So let's not get into it. I have one account.
Unfair.
I'm happy with it. I put a lot of money in customization into that account, so FDev is not going to get any more from me.
By the way, when you're not busy driving around your SRV or whatever, what ship are you flying?
Oof. For a long time, the DBX has been my absolute favorite. I've done Distant Worlds 1 with that ship, looked, I loved how it flew. I did have a period when I was back in the bubble afterwards. Am I breaking up?
No, you're sounding good.
Okay, because my internet connection is pretty bad right now. Yeah, I was flying Cutter. I actually managed to grind that out with Imperial rank when it was still hard. And I greatly enjoyed the super tough shields on that thing. I did a lot of combat zoning with that, trading with the huge cargo hold. But right now, my favorite ship is the Crate Mark II that I took out on Distant Worlds 2. Greatly enjoyed flying that. And, you know, as a Rockrat, you always have to bring a good load of SRVs with you, and it still managed a quite significant jump range. Of course, the Phantom would have been an option, but I decided against it because I had a fancy ship kit for the Crate Mark II, and I wanted to boast that. That's all it is, really. So yeah, those are probably my favorite ships in the game.
So when speaking of Distant Worlds 2, you've been involved with the organizing. What exactly did you do there?
Not much. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not that important or famous, or shouldn't be at least. But I am, like, or the Rockrats as a whole probably even, are a bit of, like, facilitators, because we still have many of the contacts from way back in the day. We have, you know, we know what's going on. We follow the stuff that's happening in-game. So I managed to leverage that for Distant Worlds 2 as well. I managed to pursue or persuade Commander Tom Cook to make the Distant Worlds song. That was my suggestion, to make a song to kind of like boost the spirits and get everyone up in good spirits for the community goal that we're going to have at the core of the galaxy. So that's really all I did. I had the idea, I forwarded the suggestion, and he made it happen. All credit to him. I mean, he did all the work in terms of music on that thing. But just stuff like that, making things happen. That's really what I did most. Of course, a little bit of management and a little bit of suggestion for the community goal, how that could work out when it was still in the planning phase. I just tried to follow stuff, chime in wherever I felt it needed to, like my opinion would help someone. But there's so many other smart people in that organization team, and people who did a lot, I mean a lot more for that expedition than I did, that my opinion or my input isn't always needed.
So what are you going to do now after the expedition has ended? Because it has nearly ended. We're getting close to a final date.
Yep. I was fortunate enough to, after the final meetup of the organizers, that we had out there, I picked up one of the, what's it called? Like one of the cargoes that has been going around on expeditions and never returns to the bubble. It's one of the original ones that Commander Dov Enigma actually picked up on the Enigma expedition. And from there, Satsuma took it to Distant Worlds 2 and to Beagle Point, and I now have that in my cargo hold. And I don't have a goal yet. I think I'll just take it on a joyride around the edge of the galaxy or some point of interest that I'm gonna go to, and I don't see myself returning to the bubble anytime soon. It's gotta be new SREs to get me back to the bubble.
I guess you will going to rush back in.
Yeah, if there's any word of new SREs, you know I'm gonna be straight buckyballing it home to get to a station for sure.
I was gonna say that's one thing that's like kind of bugged a lot of people. It's like we've got SLFs, okay, and we have 3 SLFs, and then we have 6 SLFs, and now how many? I mean, what we got 3 Guardian SLFs, 2 Imperials, a Federation, and an Independent. We've got like more than half a dozen ship fighters, and yet we're all driving the exact same nuclear reactor box on the back of a bubble of a mash heli bubble shield cockpit on 6 wheels, and that's what we've all been driving for how many years now?
Long time. I still love it, but it never hurts to have some more options, you know. And I love the idea of some more purpose-focused other vehicles, like a tank that's good armored and has good shields and a good weapon. A cargo SRV, like collect stuff and ferry it back to your ship, or a super fast racing SRV, maybe with better thruster capability as well, so you can jump further or higher. Or like, there's so many options for there, and I just don't know why they didn't tap into that yet. It can't be too much of an effort, I would think.
Yeah, perhaps they are doing that now. When we said we were looking for vehicle
hope.
AI programmers.
I really, really hope they do.
That does seem like you can. I mean, it's a tiny little minor thing, but it does seem to open up a lot of just fun.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
fun.
I guess hopefully
fun potential.
Let's call it fun
potential.
To Zach, when I was lucky enough to visit the FDEF headquarters last year, I want to say. It's been quite a while. Like, we had several of the community creators and other important peoples.
You said you weren't important.
Hmm?
You said you were not important.
To this date, I have no clue how I got invited there. No clue. Somebody must have thought I'm important. I greatly enjoyed it. I think I got some good points in there as well when we were talking about the new stuff coming with the up. And yeah, it turned out great. But back then, at the dinner that we had with them, I actually talked to Zach, and he asked everyone what would be like the most desirable thing that you want in the game. Like, what would you add if you could add anything that you could? And all I said was new SRVs. And he was like, really? That's all you got? Like, that's the most important part for you? And I was like, yeah, totally. I'm sticking with it. SRVs would be amazing. And maybe that's taken fruition now. Maybe they picked up on the idea finally. Took them long enough.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you said you were not returning to Wobble anytime soon. Do you have any specific plans on where to go in the galaxy? Because it's quite big and there are a lot of places to go.
You see, on my last return trip from Distant Worlds 1, I was going like around the west-ish side of the galaxy. Not all the way out, but somewhere in between the core and the rim. I was just like looking for interesting stars, interesting nebula, whatever came along, really. So maybe this time around I'll go the other way, go towards the east side of the galaxy and explore that for a while, even though I heard it's rather boring over there, so maybe not. I don't know. I really haven't made any plans yet. I'll just jump around.
Might be following the longer home road expedition return.
Yeah, I'm not gonna follow anyone. I'm just gonna do my own thing. Like, I know there's people organizing routes home, and there's the new circumnavigation expedition also coming up. So they'll arrive at several months out here at Beagle Point and then return in a certain fashion. But who knows what happens until then? Who knows?
Circumnavigation. Put that in air quotes, please. Come on.
That's Sergeant Stubby. He's actually one of our DJs.
I know he's part of the radio, but it's still like, come on.
Why? Do you think they're not taking it seriously enough?
It's it's a circumnavigation. Oh my God, Nagi's gonna. Oh my God, I don't want to get.
Let's just
It's a circumnavigation insofar as they are following the outer arms until they meet up with another arm to cross over.
What is actually the definition of circumnavigation?
It does not actually follow the rim. Well,
that's hard to do.
I am a purist.
Yeah, fair enough, but you always have to keep in mind if you do organize a big expedition, which I also have experience with because I was organizing the Enigma expedition, you have to try to be as inclusive as you can. And that also means that if somebody doesn't have quite the jump range and doesn't have hundreds of jumponium boosts, that they might not be able to bridge those gaps between the arms. So you need to have an alternative route that's a bit more forgiving in terms of jump range.
Well, for those who don't know, there are far more worse arm gaps than the Abyss, for example. When you go straight south of Seoul, the one to the the outer arm, just where the Formidine Rift basically ends, and there's a huge gap you just wouldn't expect it. It's not very wide, but the density is so low.
Red Sea.
Yeah.
The Red Sea is ridiculous because out of the Formidine there really is like, you have all these scoopable stars that are kind of in density, and then you have this massive wave of L and T and Y stars, and it's not officially named. I call it the Red Sea because that was my first experience exploring because.
I wasn't actually talking about that one, by the way.
I was following the Formidine mystery in my T6. Like I was getting into this, but I wasn't actually part of it. But like, there is like between these arms out there, the Formidine Rift it's almost worse than the Abyss in a way, because there's so many stars out there, and it makes it look like you can get across because you look at it and you're like. There's so many stars. I should be able to find something out there. And they're all unscoopable dwarfs. And you get stuck. And you're dead in the water in the middle of nothing. Even though you can see it water everywhere and not a drop to drink. It is exactly the experience of the Formidine Rift. And like when people spend time out there in the Formidine Rift, you understand it.
Sorry.
I'm just sorry. I'm just talking like the Formidine Rift is a very special area in space, and you have to experience it for yourself. Obviously, Greytest has. He knows.
Been there, done that, yeah.
Very short answer.
I mean, I haven't. To be honest, I'm not one of the greatest explorers. I've done my fair share of pioneer work. I actually returning from Distant Worlds 1. I was doing back then the farthest west crossing of the Abyss with my DBX. I basically manually plotted every single Jumponian boost to get across the Abyss as far west as I possibly could. But of course, nowadays with the new engineering jump ranges, that's like you do that with normal route plotting, no problem.
And of course,
so that's a bit frustrating.
They've increased the auto plotter to 10,000 light years rather than 1,000.
As well. True.
And like that's a huge these kids these days, they don't know. Uphill both ways in the snow every day.
Feel like that's a lot of this show tonight, yeah. But other than that, I haven't done too much exploring. I basically went down Distant Worlds 1, came back in a bit of a more complicated way. Then I went to the Formidine Rift back when the first generation ships were introduced, and I explored there a little bit. And Barnard's Loop and a little bit around the bubble, the closer features that we have. I certainly explored most of that stuff. But other than that, I didn't go like on any expeditions into unknown territories and spent years out. That's not quite what I wanted to do.
Well, when speaking about crossing the abyss with normal route plotting, I just want to get back to the topic again. The Armgap I mentioned, that's not even possible there. I got...
No, you can't route plot. What you do is...
I went there with a range of 65 light years in a Phantom. It's like straight south of Seoul. And suddenly you just can't go any further. It's like a ravine right in front of you. It's only I think 500 light years across or something. It's really thin, but it's so bad you just can't get over there without Champonium.
I mean, you just have to take a look at the EDSM maps where you see where like people which routes they took on certain expeditions, and then you can clearly see where these sort of impossible areas are. Because if everybody takes a detour to go around, then yes, you cannot get across. Full stop. Because somebody would have done it if it was possible.
You can if you use Champonium.
Yeah, I mean, in that specific case, of course you can, and you will see some people going across that. But
So
in general, like some of the arms, the areas in between the arms get really, really thin on the outer edge.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anyone
I mean,
that
like
wants
you
to
said,
experience it like in the old days, you should go there.
I mean, yeah. If you wanna know what the old days are like, even now, you can still try to go out to Heart and Soul, and then from Heart and Soul, try to autoplot to the Zurara. It will
All
not
that,
let you.
yeah.
It will not let you. it just won't.
There is
happen.
some manual labor required there.
Yep.
Good old craftsmanship, right?
And honestly, like, for all the things they've added to the game, for all the things they've added to our experience, which has made a lot of things easier, I'm glad that there are still places like that in the galaxy that exist, where it's like,
You
yes,
do need a challenge,
you
of course.
you have to work to get to this place.
Because
Like,
that's how you feel accomplishment. That's how you make achievements, not by just plotting and jumping for hours and hours, but for like by actually like being smart, paying attention and doing work.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a question. Would it be possible somewhere to launch an SRV into a star?
Yes, actually, Nagi,
Yes.
I've given you several options.
Wait, what?
I don't recall the name of the system right now, but there's one system where the star is basically in the scoopable zone of the planet is basically in the scoopable zone
Oh,
of
there's
the star.
several of those. But it's,
There's several.
Nagi knows. I've posted these. There's Scar D, which everybody knows.
Yeah, Scardy, that's
Scar
the
D
one.
is in the bubble. There's Gates of Algieri, which is it goes between 1.25 and 0.86 light seconds to the star. It'll take you a while to get there, but you will get there.
That's one thing you have to keep in mind. Not underestimate stellar distances, because that sounds like a bunny hop, but in your SRV, where you only go at most a few hundred meters a second if somebody skylifts you and shoots you towards the star, you're gonna be going for quite a while till you get there.
but that's why I was asking.
And Nagi, you know about the frying pan, which is a 0.5 light second orbit, but it's a dwarf, so it's kind of cold.
I mean,
So you
how
can
many
land on
kilometers is that? 0.5 light seconds.
I mean,
Well, 150,000.
What is it? One light second is
300,000 kilometers.
30 megameters or something.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
So yeah, going 150,000 kilometers at a few hundred meters a second takes long. It does take very, very long.
And you
It-
can't
it's
log
kinda-
out in
it's-
between
well, it's-
because
it's
you
kinda
will
like
lose
the,
your
the-
momentum.
Not only that, but
yeah,
you also have to refuel. Keep that in mind, because else you will suffocate.
Yeah, it's like the person who flew out to to what's it? This not Samotis. Yeah, it is Samotis. Who went out to
Past mode is basically, yeah.
and then just kept flying. Basically, they targeted Seoul and just kept flying directly away from Seoul for 3 days straight.
And then got rescued by rock rats. By fuel rats, sorry. Rock rats. Can't claim that for us.
And like, even to rescue them, they had to send 3 ships out who all had to suicide
Yeah,
to
of
get
course.
one ship out there to refuel the
But see,
person.
that's the amazing part. No matter the effort, the community is gonna go the extra mile to pull it off. That's serious dedication right there, and that's what I love this community for. Like, that's always been the thing about Elite. What makes this game so amazing is the community. Full stop. There can be that many changes to the game, new additions, or stuff that the community isn't quite happy with, but they will stick together. They will work through it, and they will enjoy it together if it's good, and it's lovely.
You know, I can't think of a better line to go out on, so it is the top of the hour.
I got one really important question.
Okay,
Greytest.
Nagi, it's
Hit
up to
me.
you.
How did you come up with that name?
Greytest?
Yeah. Also, why is
I
my
can
SRV
probably-
not repaired when I drop it from a ship? What the hell?
If you give me 1 second, I can show you better than I can tell you. One second. Doing work. Go. It's in the interview.
Okay,
Here's a question. We got a picture of a giant Nordic horse with 3 naked men on top of it.
Well,
Wait
that
a
does make-
second! Wait, hold on. Banafish. Oh my! I think I know that band. Hold on.
The most famous song that you probably know them from is "Come to Sin." But yeah,
there's no
if
way.
you
There's
pay
no
attention-
freaking way that I actually have this.
If you pay attention to the bottom left corner of that picture, that's where my name comes from.
Greytest. And it's it's spelled wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to keep in mind that was their first ever album, and they called it Greytest Hits, and I love that.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that kind of impersonates me.
Okay,
To
excuse
be
me.
awesome, no, I'm not that.
I've got 2 bands. I've got Banana Fish, and I've got Fish Bone. So, the 2 bands that I have are not that group.
They're actually called Banana Fishbones, but if you look at the cover of that album that I just sent you, they actually
Banana
misspelled their
Fishbone.
they
misspelled the
misspelled
wrong
their
name.
whole name. They spelled Banana Fishbones.
What the hell?
That is, you know,
And that's exactly
I
why
kind of love it. I kind of love it.
being Muppets while pretending to be awesome. That's just me. But yeah, always with a smile on the face. I don't really think too much of myself, but I just enjoy being around awesome people.
Oh man, we are of the same spirit right here, man. I'm totally with you. Like, I still have people who are like, "Hey, you're that guy on the radio. How'd you do that?" And I'm like, I have no freaking idea. I don't know. I don't know why I am where I am. I just happen to. Well, actually, I do know why I am where I am. It's because of this clown over here on my left, Nagi, drug me along and pulled me into all this crazy
keep
nonsense.
in mind,
but
we always have to
because-
blame Scorpius.
Okay. So Nagi only did it because Scorpius told him to do it, and that's why I am.
Basically.
Okay.
I'll go
Okay,
with
so all right. So it's not your fault. It's not your fault, Nagi. I don't blame you.
that. Sorry,
I
Scorps.
totally blame you. Oh, we had fun with the Scorpius on here. That was I think that was probably the best opening question we've ever had in an interview.
Lovely chap. Really, really happy to call him a friend.
He's a great guy.
I actually stayed with him over the Frontier visit and played some. That was my first ever VR experience I had at his place. Shooting some zombies and actually the first time ever in VR in Elite as well, and that was just mind blowing. At that point, I decided I wanted to have VR as well. I'm just not quite there yet because I would have to completely upgrade my PC and get the VR headset, and that's quite the financial strain that I don't want to shoulder just yet. I'm probably gonna wait for the new Ryzen series, and then I might jump the gun.
Well, I've already got people telling me that I need to play RTX. They're like, "You have an RTX card? You need to play RTX stuff on your stream." And it's like, oh no, please, no, I don't want to. I will say, Quake 2 looks amazing though. Quake 2.
Yeah, Yamix has been playing that tonight. I saw that.
Quake RTX Quake 2 looks amazing. it's like what you imagined in your head, like as a kid, like almost 2 decades ago, while you were playing it originally.
People have been ray tracing Minecraft as well. It's ridiculous.
Well, I don't think Mykl's coming back, unfortunately. But Nagi, do you have anything else left?
No, not really. Except
All
that I
right,
started bouncing my SRV around again.
I
As
don't have
you
anything
should.
else. I don't have anything else left on the radio side either. So
Well, then I'll just say thank you guys for having me. It was a great time
no. You don't get no. You don't get off. No, you don't get off that easy. You're not going anywhere. I do have one final closing piece. Greytest, any words of wisdom or motivation that you want to share with the world to just do whatever? I mean, maybe you want to rant and tell everyone how awful they are, but I don't think you're that kind of person.
I would never do that. Quite the opposite, in fact. Be nice to each other. I mean, behind everything.
Hey, no. Wait, no. Okay.
Hey,
I literally ended my interview with when they asked me to interview, and I said I'm going to be cordy as hell here, and I'm going to quote one of my favorite movies. This is from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Be excellent to each other. You can't do that. I already did that. Copyright.
I don't care. That's my final statement, and I will do it. I will say be nice to each other because I feel like sometimes people just forget that even behind a game that you're very passionate about and that you might hate in certain places and certain features of it, there's always people behind that developing it, and they just want to have the best game out of it as well. They are as passionate as we are in the community. So don't go out and calling people out and saying bad stuff about them. It's just no point to that. Try to be constructive. Try to be nice to each other and make it better for everyone. That's all I want to say. Because I just see too much negativity around, and I think Scorp greatly influenced me and agrees with me in that case.
I'm just pushing you to actually say what you really mean, man. But that was beautiful. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here on the show.
Thank you guys. It was a real pleasure.
All right. I have been your host, Chankk on the radio. We are going to play another maybe 30 minutes of music after this ends. Nagi?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna still stream a bit because I'm trying to launch myself into orbit again.
You're supposed to remind people you've been your host, Nagi, on the video stream. We're professionals, Nagi. Come on, say it.
Yeah, I've been your host on the video stream. Commander
And
Dr.
we
Nagi.
want to thank you all for being here and being here with our guest, and appreciate him, of course. Greytest, thank you so much for coming on.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
And with that, we're gonna roll on into some music, and I hope you enjoy. I've been your host, Chankk Satome, Nagi, and of
I've
course
been
Mykl.
Nagi.
who is about All right.
I really need to get the hang of this again.
All right, and we are off the radio. The radio is still playing, but we're done broadcasting.
Hello.
There he is.
Jeez, there he is! Holy crap!
He
What
just
did I miss?
waited until we were off the show.
He literally
What?
waited till he literally waited till the moment we closed the show to come
10
back.
seconds ago, the show closed.
God. Why? It's too early.
No, what do you mean? What do you? It's 4 a.m. What do you mean it's too early for you? Don't even start this nonsense with me.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Impeccable timing.
Thank
That
you.
was honestly, I have that recorded, by the way, so we can still use that.
What?
Also, Wiretap still has it. Craig still has it recorded too. We need
Yes,
to.
of course.
You know what, Mykl? When you finally use this, you need to leave in that last 10 seconds because literally you showed up the instant we closed out the show.
But, did you run off topics to talk about or what?
we went through everything. I mean,
I think we were
great. He's still here. He's
Quite
still here.
vigorous
You can
in
talk
talking
to him.
about everything.
You've been talking about everything, and why is the world still the same?
That comes back to my first point, because I'm not that special. I love sharing stories with people, but not like I'm gonna influence anyone significantly.
All right. Okay. Here's the deal.
Because
Here's
that's
the
one
deal,
thing
Greytest.
I despise.
Understood.
The term,
I will
the
let
term
you use.
influencer sounds to me like a sickness and not like something that I want to be.
Dude, no, I actually totally agree. It's like people are like, you have the most viewed version of this music video, and it's like, yeah, I do, and it has over 500,000 views, but I don't want to be known for that. My videos get 10 views a piece, and I'm proud of that.
Except
10,
that
10
one.
Views. Which one? Oh,
Yeah,
my
the
first
music video, the what's it called? Something with fields?
Yeah, the fields of not Fields of Athenry, but the Dropkick Murphys Fields of something is my first video, and
Yeah.
I
There's a lot of views
literally,
on it.
I literally made that as I made that as a high school project. That's how old
Well,
that my YouTube is. That's how
I
old,
do
my YouTube
have a
is so
similar
old.
video on YouTube, and it hasn't even been claimed for
Fields of
monetization.
France.
I've got a trailer for a movie. Wait, let me just find it. For an Austrian movie, and yeah, I'm the
There
only
you
one
go.
with a
You
trailer on
actually
the web
Google.
with
Hold
for
on.
it.
Let me just Google it randomly.
What? The title for the movie? It's Hurensohn. I'm serious. I'm serious. It's German for son of a bitch. But
Okay, so my video is no longer in the front page, by the way. It
mine
used
is
to-
the first upload I ever
never,
made.
Excuse me, never mind. It is. It's still there. It's in like the top 10. But if you
This
Google,
is my-
if you Google
my most
Dropkick Murphys Fields
video.
of France, my video's in there with 500 and this is ridiculous. 573,000 views.
Not
Good
bad.
stuff.
And
Yeah.
it's
They're actually
literally-
funny.
It's literally just a thing that I made for like a college high school project that never went anywhere.
It's not even that
Oh.
rare. If you know Spatula, he also has one of these weird videos that took off. It's like a guy slapping cats in like to music. I don't know if you've seen that.
What? What?
Well,
I
okay,
want to see that.
Go to Spatula's channel right now. Go to Spatula's channel.
The Greenfields of France was posted almost 13 years ago. The thing is, like, that's 2005 YouTube. Nobody, like, the only reason it has that many views is because people were just looking for the song, and my video was the only version of the song on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's fair enough. That's one way to do it.
So let's sort the videos by most popular.
I think my
Cat
most
Slap Joy
popular one
Division.
got something
Yeah,
about
that's the one.
300,000.
Let's have a look. Okay.
But that was actually
Oh.
original content and not.
And it's also retro music, nice. Yeah, but the trailer I uploaded that about over 12 years ago. Also, well, not 500,000, but 20,000 views.
Crazy how
And-
old YouTube is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people forget. People are like, "Oh, YouTube only started like 5 years ago." It's like, no, YouTube's been around since 2004, technically. And like,
Oh.
so like you have people like me who have accounts from 2005. When
I
it's
have
like
mine from
the
2006.
top video was "We visited a zoo" or "I visited a zoo." The guy who made YouTube.
Me at
Like,
the
that
zoo.
was
hi-
the
it's-
top
it's
video.
Me at the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, me at this. Yeah.
I know it. I have it in
Well,
my
if you guys
favorites.
don't mind, I'm gonna drop off because I didn't even have dinner yet. So
I
Oh, yeah, me
do
too.
mind.
Hey
I
man,
missed
thank
half
you
an
for
hour
being
of
here, and
conversation,
thank
so you have
uh,
to make that up. Yeah, I'm
cheers,
the
guys.
emperor.
Have a great day.
Okay, good night.
later, man.
Well, fuck.
All right, y'all. Hey, I hope you've been enjoying the radio. These guys are still talking to the chat. I need to stop recording this, by the way. There we go. Stopped recording. All right. I hope you've been enjoying things. I hope you've been enjoying the. I hope you enjoyed the talk show we had with Greytest, which was fantastic. I did record it, and if Mykl needs that, I will send him a copy of my recording as well. We want to close out the
No, I
radio
use
with
wiretaps.
Banana Fishbones with playing us some Easy Day, and then of course a reference back to Toko So's "Come and Lend a Hand" to the Distant World, or for the Distant Worlds, which Greytest obviously motivated Commander Toko So to record and produce. We got a little bit of music here. We're gonna keep on playing for you, but I'm gonna be calling it a night in about 30 minutes or so, and hope you understand that. I don't know if we'll have another host on after that at that point, but
Is there someone on schedule? Let me quickly look it up.
but you know what? I just hope you enjoyed the show. And,
No, there's nobody.
Anyway, to keep on going, we're gonna play off with the White Wolf's Prelude 3305, which is something you might not have heard before. Maybe you have. He kind of made it for all of Distant Worlds 2, but it became something special for us here over the radio. And I do hope you enjoy. I'm your host, Chankk, and I'll get back to you in a little bit. Oh shit, I'm still in the voice chat. Shit, I'm sorry.
What? Yeah, you are.
So yeah,
But we
I'm
can't
still
hear
playing
you.
some music on the radio. I'm gonna try to get to about 35 minutes, maybe, or so.
If you want to go to sleep, you can quit earlier, of course. But
I'm good. I'm good. to keep
I'm
going.
really disappointed in myself.
What did you do?
Yeah, I had to get something to eat,
Oh,
don't
and
worry
because
about it.
the store's closing, and I didn't want to wait till after the interview.
Hey, I was actually worried you might be having a headache coming on. so I
No,
was
I'm
totally,
luckily not. But yeah, well, but it's the worst thing about Germany is living in Germany, not Germany itself. Is we don't have that many 24/7 convenience stores,
yeah.
and that really
Oh,
sucks.
jeez, nightmare! Holy crap!
Yep.
I don't even know
Especially
a
for people
single
like
one
me.
in my area.
Yeah, especially for people like me who have screwed up circadian rhythm and just are awake at ungodly hours.
But by the way, do we know if White Wolf ever actually made a full version of Prelude, or if this was it?
Haven't heard back from him since.
Because I know that I got in there, Kenny got in there. Like half of our radio. I think you're in there too, Mykl.
I didn't record anything, I believe.
Or maybe it's Nagi.
No. I wasn't in there.
Who is
Oh,
it?
there's
The
Pookie.
mysterious German.
I remember Pookie.
Yeah, I'm just hearing
I know
Pookie.
I'm in there. I know I'm in there. I'm in there kind of towards the end.
Yeah, you after Pookie.
Oh no, after Pookie was like fucking Turgeon or something.
No. It was you. Aren't you listening? But Pookie and you were already.
I might have been talking about my boom.
Selfish Pie? Yes, most names I can't understand. I can just make up the voices.
I know I wasn't in there.
Ah, yeah.
Oh my god, there's a mountain in front of me. Oh, this is
You still streaming? Yeah, you're still streaming.
Yeah, I wanted to try something. Wow.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I missed half of the interview. Still can't get that out of my head. Oh. Why did it have to be over so soon?
It wasn't soon. It was over an hour long.
Yes, but it's usually 2 hours. We managed to fill the conversation with so much banter usually. Why not now? Was it all because
don't
I
know.
wasn't there? I believe so. I didn't talk enough. I knew it. I should have waited. I should have bit the what's it called? Yeah, well, I should have waited for the shops to close. Anyway. So, Chankk, what are you doing now? Are you going to sleep or are you going to stay awake? Hello?
Chankk?
Chankk?
Oh hey. I'm probably gonna go to sleep as soon as I finish this, which I'm actually gonna close this music set out in maybe, let's look at these musics. 2, 3, 6,
10?
10 to 12 minutes. I'm gonna be logging out of the music.
Okay.
I think I got a good bounce now, Chankk. Almost 2 kilometers up.
Are we still on air? Live on...
Yeah,
on
on
the
the video
radio.
stream, I'm still streaming because I started bouncing SRV.
Yeah, but can they hear us or do we have us muted?
No, they can hear us. But it's only
Oh my
for people
God!
watching.
Oh no.
Everyone can hear us. So many
Oh, this is good.
leaks.
Nagi is a terrible SRV pilot, and I'm way better than he is. Look at that!
Yeah,
look at that! Look at that pounce! That was terrible.
Yeah,
He should just give up now.
my turret
Yeah.
mode is on pressing down my stick, so that just happened.
Just never drive an SRV again.
I'm not driving.
No, don't jump
He's trying to
or
fly
fly.
one, and he's also
Don't
like
pilot it.
to the left, so he needs. Yeah, here's to the right. He needs to go left a little bit.
So the other two that are watching, hello. Let me just look up who they are.
Someone said hello in YouTube chat. I sent an 07
Oh,
back
I'm just
in
only
information.
watching Twitch. Oh, sorry for the rest.
Yeah, I'm only on Twitch as well. Sorry, YouTube guy. Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
YouTube fans. We only watch Twitch because YouTube is
No, no, no.
garbage.
No, I'm watching
No,
restream
it's
chat.
the other way around. It's the other way around.
It's not the other way around. It's
Oh,
not
it's
the other
only
way
it's only
around.
us. It's only us. Us on Twitch.
Oh,
Listen.
oh, that has potential. That has been. Oh, come on, tilt it. Get this. Oh, get this next ridge. This ridge right in front of you.
Yeah, I try.
Oh God, it looks good. It looks good. Come on. You're going so fast. Go! Oh, you hit it wonky. I think it slowed you down. It might have slowed you
It
down.
did, but it...
Oh, yeah.
Trying to correct my heading.
I'm actually watching.
Oh, I have to repair.
Alright, y'all. How's it going? Anybody who doesn't know what's going on, I'm sitting here watching Nagi on stream and yelling at him, trying to make him do better.
Oh, I got quite high.
Anyway, we brought you out of the talk show there with Banana Fish Bones with Easy Day, because, you know, the guest referenced it, so we might as well play it. After that, we had some Toko So with Come and Lend a Hand for the Distant Worlds, obviously. Both those referenced by Greytest, and the latter kind of motivated by his prodding. Then we had the White Wolves Prelude 3305, which was just kind of a call out and a celebration of commanders and various people involved in organizing and setting all these things up for Distant Worlds 2. After that was Deep Purple Space Truckin'. We're going to play a couple more rock songs here and whatnot, and then I'm going to call it a night. We got maybe 12 minutes or so music left to go, and I do hope you enjoy it. We're going to start here with Men at Work and rock on into some more modern music. I do hope you enjoy it, and I hope you've had fun with everything that's been going on this evening. You guys can talk, by the way. They can't hear you. You don't have to go silent every time I do this radio broadcast. Unless I click on this button here, and the music gets really quiet. Now you guys want to talk.
Yeah, but it gets weird when we talk over each other. Anyways.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see, now they're on the radio, but I can just turn that off, and I can go to my soundboard and I can do things like
Okay.
I could just click meme music, you know. It's a, you know, children. Let me tell you something.
Music.
You know, and then Mykl comes back from nowhere and he shoots you in the back, and
Wait, that was music. I didn't do anything.
yeah, and he doesn't even know what's going on anymore. He has no
What
idea. Because I'm just clicking, because he gave me a soundboard and he doesn't even realize I can just play with this and fuck around with it.
Oh yeah, I believe you just disconnected short for a second there, right? Did you?
Yeah,
Or did you play a song?
I can just click on the I can just click on the soundboard and do whatever
Poor
I want.
audience.
He can't do anything to me. I can sit here and be like, you know what? It's time for some elevator music.
Okay,
Yeah,
this one
Chankk,
slowed me
I can
down,
hear
but
that.
it got me really, really high.
I thought you didn't do drugs, Nagi.
Catnip, only catnip. Oh my god, I completely lost all my
Chankk,
momentum.
stop!
I just push buttons all day long.
STA, psh.
Well, they can't stop me. There's nothing they can do. I can just in my soul, in my state of mind, it's so hard to find. Like they can't stop this. Michael's giving me this tool that I can play with all day long, and nobody can do anything about it.
I'm terrified.
But anyway, we're gonna keep on rolling with the music. This is meant to work. You already know what song it's gonna be. I do hope you enjoy. You're listening to this in Radio 3305.
Yeah, everybody could hear that on the radio, on the stream too, except for the music part.
Yeah.
So, as an explanation for the viewers on Twitch or YouTube, Chankk was just playing around with with his soundboard on the radio. You all know what a soundboard is, so I don't explain that. But yeah, he just went wild.
Someday I'm gonna go buy myself a machine. A machine, not machine, but a machine, and actually key in all those fucking things into the thing, and just sit here and just tap on them, and just screw around with the radio all day long. It's gonna be amazing.
God, why? Why?
Why? Why? Because you have given me this power.
Yeah, okay.
Unlimited power!
I will give you something else. Just hang on for a second there. Where is it? There.
What?
It's a private message. You wouldn't understand. Of course you would understand. Just hang on.
I can't look at anything anyways right now. How many
Yeah.
repairs? I got 8 left, okay. I think I'm gonna use them all up before I manage to pull it off.
I've been sitting wrong.
Whew.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
This is not...
This is gonna do some damage.
No, it just did 1%, but
Bam!
It did
Yeah,
some-
I just saw it coming.
other kind
Wasn't
of
on the
damage.
stream yet.
It did the damage of not going anywhere.
Yeah, and straight up now.
Yeah, for some weird reason it's launching me straight up. I don't even get it.
Yeah, you got the angle right. Whee! 1.1 kilometers. Still going up.
No, it stopped.
1.13.
I need more
Nice.
speed, I need to get consistent bumps, and that's the tricky part. I also need a bit of luck with the terrain. Also, this is a 0.08 G volt, so it's not the easiest to begin with.
What would be better?
Yeah, a bit lower gravity. I guess I can use some of the bumps here.
Yeah,
No,
if
no,
you get
it's
it
perfect.
right.
Okay. Oh, damn it. Pushed it too hard again. Turning is weird in an SRV. Oh, it didn't take any damage with that one, that's good. In reality, I'm hungry. But I wanna keep going. Oh, I got over 100 meters per second now, that's good. Okay. Let's just try this little edge here. Ooh!
That didn't get you anywhere.
I'm still going. Oh, that wasn't optimal, but it didn't kill me. We're still going over 100, okay, so at least I got... Oh, some nice bumps. I'll just take one of them. Yep. Oh, I think this one was good. I'll turn a bit more. Come on. That was too far. Oh yes,
All right.
this looks better.
I think it's time for some karaoke.
Oh god.
Oh no. Oh, that's gonna be fun because we are going to hear him without the music.
Yeah. Some real karaoke.
Okay, that was a good start. I applaud to that.
Well, you guys will be able to talk over it, and I'll be able to hear you too, because you come through the same input.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So, what song should I sing?
Me and Mykl.
No, no, I'm gonna sing Polaris. Hey, Sandy.
Yeah, I don't know the lyrics to that.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, to be fair, I don't even know the lyrics to the Pokemon theme song or something like that.
No, I know parts of it from the
Wait, should I
German version.
sing the Pokemon theme? Is that what you're saying?
What? Come again?
Oh yeah, do it, do it.
What theme?
Pokemon.
Pokemon theme.
Yeah, I don't know that. I just said I don't know the
All right,
lyrics.
guys. So, I'm gonna turn on my chatterbox. So, hey, everybody, how's it going? You guys are on the radio right now. So they've told me that I should do this song. Well, I want to do this song, and then I have to do another song. But
Okay.
So I guess I'm gonna do my song, and then I'm gonna play another random song on the radio, and then we'll be right back with the other song once I can finally get it.
The thing is,
Do I
we've
want
got
do I want the
about
extended version?
we've got about 100 milliseconds of a ping, so we won't be able to sing in sync with you.
Or
Just
should
so
I
you
just
know.
there's the extended theme version, but I'm gonna sing that first. I'm gonna sing this first because this is a song that I can actually sing first. All right.
Wow, don't die.
All right.
Sounds like you just gave birth.
I'm unsure on how to do this best, but...
Twin strange. You're looking happily deranged. Can you settle your bet? Or have you picked your target yet? Sandy, what did the song by? Hey, Sandy, go fade away. End of speeches, end of day. It's only funny. Giddily, I thought you had it coming, Sandy. It's dog by Sandy. And that's literally the song.
Oh, okay. It was a short one.
Hey Sandy, what is dog by? Hey Sandy, hey Sandy, what is dog by? Hey Sandy. Okay, that's literally the song. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm going really fast now. Like, really fast.
If you're not watching on the stream, you should be.
Oh yeah.
Because, Nagi
No!
is going... Oh! Hit a rock and instantly poofed into nothing. Literally, as we look back at the... as we look back at
What the hell? What?
What? Why are you upside down in your ship? What? What? What is even going on?
What did the ship try to do while you were away?
I
Oh,
think
if you're not watching the video stream, you're missing out. You gotta watch the video stream and listen to the radio at the same time.
Well,
But
they missed out
goddamn.
already.
All right.
I think
anyway,
what my ship did is it adjusted to the position my SRV was when launched off.
All right.
No,
Anyway,
I don't know.
I'm gonna try to finish this. I'm gonna try to finish this show. I'm muting you guys. All right, they're muted. We're gonna play these last couple songs.
Oh my god.
This is a classic. Y'all know it, and I hope you enjoy it. And
Everyone's going here. Oh la la la, we can't hear you.
don't-
La 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 la.
then you're just wrong. This is Rick Astley.
You're not Rick Astley.
Oh my god.
Yes, I just played Rick Astley for the 5 people listening to the radio.
Why? Why are you rickrolling them?
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. There's no reason that I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you what I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna
Why
give
are you singing? Nobody can hear
never
you on the
gonna let
radio.
you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make me cry. Never gonna take goodbye. Never gonna smell a lie and hurt you. Because this song is awesome. I don't care if it became a meme song. It's a good song.
Oh dear. Yeah, I give up.
I'm gonna play it. And if you ask me how I'm feeling, well, you know, I'm not playing.
Yeah, I think that's it for me. I will leave you guys to your own devices now.
Yeah, we'll also stop the stream now.
But
Drop the steam.
this is the
Drop the
Grandmaster,
steam.
Lord of the Radio, who is just like, Chankk and Nagi are doing shit. I'm out. That's literally what he's saying.
I don't care. I'm better than you.
Okay, thanks guys for tuning in.
Yeah, genau. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye.